This is public meeting number 3 for 115 Edward Street, a zoning bylaw amendment. We're going to call the third meeting to order and advise you that this meeting is required by the Planning Act to afford any person an opportunity to make representation with respect to the proposed zoning bylaw amendment to allow for the playing of bingo and accessory uses in addition to a range of already permitted on the property located at 115 Edward Street. We'll introduce Michelle again, and she's got a whole separate thing about bingo and other things happening at what once was the Peavey Mart. So Michelle, you're up.
So thank you, Your Worship. I'd also, just before I start, like to say that the applicant, Zlin Capriamo-Caden, is here, and I believe he'll have a very brief, a few brief words after I finish up my presentation.
Okay, so hopefully he's coming down to help. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I just, so we have the zoning bylaw amendment application submitted by Zlin Capriamo Holdings for Bingo County Holdings Limited, also well known basically as Jackpot City.
Right.
So as many of you likely know, they are currently located on Edward Street, sort of further east, and they are proposing to move to the former Peavey Mart site and the lands just to the south, as shown here in the red area on the southeast corner of Edward and First. So here are the subject lands. We're all very familiar with the Peavey Mart, and it also includes the lands to the south.
This land still has snow on it. We will not allow another picture like that this month, but go ahead.
Yes, I went last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then the vacant lands to the south. And then the surrounding area, we've got a variety of commercial uses to the west. To the south, we've got the power center. To the north, we also have an auto dealership. Further west, we have residential uses. And to the east, we have the employment area. So we've got a variety of employment uses. We immediately east is a vacant site, and then there's the ambulance depot. But what is really significant is that this site, it helps to provide a transition to the employment areas. So we want to look at this site for a use that aids with that transition. So here is the site plan. Currently, the applicant is proposing sort of not to make any physical changes on the site at this point, was their initial intent. With the zoning that they've requested, they could make some changes in the future. But right now, my understanding is their intention is to use the existing site configuration. So the subject lands are designated secondary commercial in the official plan, which allows for a variety of commercial uses. Included among those are private recreational clubs, which private recreational uses, which this fits into as a bingo hall and accessory uses. So no official plan amendment is needed. It is in the C5, so secondary commercial zone, which also allows for those private recreation establishments. But what I would say is because the zoning bylaw has the playing of bingo as a separate permitted use, we have to do a zoning bylaw amendment to allow it on the subject lands. So the requested amendment as proposed is to allow for the playing of bingo and accessory uses. And staff are also proposing to secure the parking rate reflecting the existing parking to building ratio on the site of 4.5 parking spaces to 100 square meters of gross floor area. This is because in our zoning bylaw for other commercial uses, it's 3 spaces per 100 square meters. But we know that over on the current site, there's a requirement for 125 spaces in the zoning. Granted, it's for a much more extensive range of permitted uses, such as like a rollerblading facility, et cetera. But it's just speaking with the applicant, they don't have a concern with us putting this in the bylaws. So it reflects what's currently on the site, but should they choose to expand, then they need to expand the parking too.
Great.
So this is the draft amendment. The draft amendment effectively would just be to add the secondary commercial special provision zone with the additional permitted uses of the playing of bingo and uses accessory to the foregoing. I would say that the applicant, or my understanding is that the current facility has e-gaming, which is actually permitted by the zoning bylaw in the C5 for entertainment centers. So that's already permitted here. So that's why you're not seeing that in the zoning bylaw here. And then also the minimum number of parking spaces, which I already spoke to. And then just updating that zoning map 11 at such time that the bylaw is consolidated. So here is the special zoning map with that C5 zone, and then the updated zoning map 11. Anyone has any questions? Oh, and then Caden
Yeah,
here, and he can.
he snuck up on you so that he could be
Yeah.
right.
So I can either turn it over to him or.
No, let's do his presentation first, then all the questions can be at once. Please. Thank you.
Good evening, Your Worship and members of council. My name is Caden McAllister. I'm here with my colleague Harry Frusios, who's online there as well. We are both planners with Zelenka Priamo here on behalf of our client, Bingo Country Holdings, for the zoning bylaw amendment at 115 Edwards Street. I'd like to thank Michelle for her thorough presentation. Based on that, we don't have anything further to add to the presentation at this time. I'd just like to say, in our opinion, the proposed zoning bylaw amendment is consistent with provincial and municipal policy objectives and is in the public interest as the Bingo Country and Jackpot Time Charitable Gaming Center is an important part of the community, as it is a big charitable donator to multiple causes in the area. And with that, I will leave it open to any questions council or members of the public may have. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, we go to council. Any questions on this zoning change? All right, since you're all so full of information tonight, I'm going to go to the computer and say if there's anyone on here who needs to ask a question, please hands up. Use your hand up icon, or if you're on a phone, *9 if you'd like to speak. And if you do, then please tell us your name and address so we can enter it in the record also. As we're waiting for people to do that, I'll ask our clerk, have you received any written submissions on the proposed changes?
Your Worship, we have not received any written submissions for this particular application.
That's quite convenient. Perfect. Please, council, any hands up if you see it. Anyone at home, hands up if you have a question. And I'll do that one more time, and we'll probably yell bingo at that point and get to go home. Any questions from home, from on your computer, from driving your car, or anybody from the gallery? Wait, nobody there. No questions from council. Then I'm going to suggest that we have offered a fair opportunity to express views. And if there are no further questions, please be advised that any person wishing further information on the actions of council regarding the passing of a bylaw for the proposed amendments should email customer service at customerservice@stthomas.ca, indicate which public meeting they wish to be notified on, and this one is 115 Edward Street, if you need to know, and you will be notified if you give us your name and address. If you do not have a computer and wish to be notified, call customer service. They'd be happy to hear from you at 519-631-1680, extension 0, and provide your name and address. This meeting is now concluded.